Part 17. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 161. Good guts. In front of this seat, you dare to divide your troops. Ao worshipped and turned into a black chiao, and roared in the air. The demonic power turned into a little starlight, condensed into several tokens, and passed on to all directions. The next moment, in the valley in the distance, an army of demon beasts of demon Qing flew up from the ground. Those demon beasts were originally fierce beasts and big cats in the mountains. Was eroded by demonic power, and actually produced a powerful mutation. A pair of meat wings on the back. Between the wings and fans, the demon wind is rolled up and rises into the air, as if it is walking against the wind. And in this mutant big cat, there is also a saddle on the back. A strong demon warrior, covered with a layer of pitch black scale armor. This is the top demonization martial arts of the demon Qing royal family, and it can only be practiced with the consumption of various monsters. Ordinary artillery, blowing up on the body, is like tickling. Before this 080, he was called the Black Sky Grim Reaper by people other than Demon Qing. And in the invitation, it is called the Tiger Banner Army. Ruling this looting secret world, this Tiger Banner Army, that is indispensable. My demon warriors, the demon god is watching us. Let us, with the blood and soul of the enemy, sacrifice to the demon god and protect my demon Qing. Kill. As soon as Aobi's words fell, the flying black tiger rolled up the demon wind. The black armored warriors had scarlet eyes shining with scarlet. But in the sky, that inexplicable giant. But countless star spots suddenly appeared, accompanied by a violent roar. Just for an instant. It covered the whole sky like rain. And that's just the powerful, single bullet rain fire coverage of the aerospace frigate. Turned into a violent metal storm. But in an instant, the so-called demonic black armored Tiger Banner Army and the mutated Big Cat. All of them were shattered to pieces in an instant. A black rain of blood fell along with a metal storm. Even the fully armed demon Qing army with the ground was swept inside. The assembled army seemed to be waiting in line to be killed. In an instant, the demon Qing army of the General Ji Yanming was beaten into hell on earth. Bastard! No return. The black Jiao roared wildly, and in the distance, the ground burst into flames. The flames gathered, turning into fiery lava and reaching into the sky. But those lava fireballs couldn't get close to the army of steel battleships in the sky dome at all. In mid-air, it was shattered by a rain of bullets and bullets that were fired in full force. At the same time, if you look at it from afar, you can see that the whole world is instantly ablaze. Outside of Yuking, wars are burning everywhere. And the main target of the army of raiders is the ubiquitous, altar by altar. An altar of flesh and blood built with the blood and bones of countless people. Don't think about it, this must be used to sacrifice the so-called demon god. It's cruel, like a beast, without the slightest humanity. In other words, the spirit has long ceased to be normal, has been polluted, and turned into demonic minions. Leng Feng looked at the devastated world, whether it was people or animals, it had all been wiped out. All of them were sacrificed to the so-called demon gods. The earth is pitch black, and it is no longer the land where life can be born. It's not good, the erosion of this demonic power seems to have suddenly received some signal and become extremely active. Even ordinary people are severely affected. Monitoring data in Kyushu has found anomalies in the world. Then hurry up and quickly deal with the army of Demon Qing. Then clean up the remnants of the Demon Qing in the cities around the country and save the people. Wu Changguo sent the information to the light curtain of the command room, and quickly commanded the soldiers to clean up the Demon Qing forces. Li Shanchang on the side said to Zhu Wuzi, Lord Wang, this matter must have been done by the demon god, so please trouble the prince to lead the master to clean it up. Zhu didn't hear or hear, and nodded in agreement. If you read a violent novel, go to Feel a Novel Network. And with a swing of his body, he turned into a ray of light and went straight into the sky. Behind him, of course, there were other people accompanying him. Gu San-tung, the 4 secret agents and others. Of course, there are still some masters on the ship, who are left to deal with Yuking. After all, there are still many ordinary people, cities, villages, and towns that can't be covered by firepower. There's trouble with the great Ming Dragon Guardian Villa to find the demon god. So as not to cause more trouble, order the whole army to sweep it up quickly. Then, the ground forces, mainly the Ming dynasty, began to be completely purged. Wu Changguo's voice fell. The major ships are no longer kept, and they are firing at full power. Deep sky clusters overhead. The huge space-carrying ship aircraft Qingluan, the moment the engine room is opened, it is thousands of Suina fighters zero. As a deep space fighter, it is extremely fast. With the fighter in the atmosphere, it only takes a few minutes. It can quickly hit all parts of the entire Demon Qing world. How is it possible? How is it possible? My invincible army of Demon Qing is just gone. The Black Jiao's teeth bared his eyes angrily, and the demonic aura vibrate. His invincible army in the world was beaten to minced meat in an instant. They didn't attack the city. I don't know which young general's voice suddenly became a life-saving straw. Aobai's angry brain also forcibly calmed down a little. That's right, they didn't attack the city, which means they can't attack the damn mud legs. As long as the mud legs are used as hostages, the weapons of those guys will not dare to be used at will. In this way, they don't have this steel weapon, they are ordinary people, and there is a huge gap between them and us. Aobai may be true, his brain has been eroded too badly by demonic power. It's still the same way you look at the army of raiders. Let's go back to the capital, and trap all the mud-legged people in the city. Those people did not dare to act rashly. Find the right time to the capital. No, all the mud legs are to be sacrificed together. Let these ants see the horror of the demon god. Even Aobai said so. The others were relieved by 0.4 breath. If you stay here any longer, I'm afraid you will be like the soldiers of the 8 banners. The fear of being bombarded by steel has caused the demonic power to run wild and turn into a monster beast that has lost its mind. Huh. Liang Rong snorted in confusion and looked into the light curtain. The entire demon world is unobstructed at a glance, and it is meticulous. These guys really destroy humanity. Capture and trap the people in the city, let us cast rat traps. However, they also underestimate us. Li Shanchang nodded, naturally knowing what Liang Rong meant. It's also time for our ground forces to put an end to it. It is necessary to uproot the power of the demon Qing. Clear all altars associated with the demon god. Saving the civilian population. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm Chasing Water in the Sky. Chapter 162. Demon Qing Capital. The entire city has been sealed, and the hideous dragon hovers over it. Everyone knows that this embarrassed appearance is the same worship. Ha ha ha, Aobai he lost. As long as Aobai dies, the entire demon is clear, and there will be no one to resist me. Looking at Emperor Yuking's happy appearance, Wei Xiaobao's heart was dark. The news of the defeat has spread throughout the capital, and the palace. It is said that the enemy who can't even win the Aobai army, the Demon Qing army, has been almost completely wiped out, and rely on the mud legs as shields. It is even possible that he will be thrown into the demon god altar in the next moment. Why is your emperor's brain so frightened? Still thinking about worship? Gee. No, I'll have to find an excuse to slip away. At this time, the emperor, the queen mother, and the princess of Hai were all attracted by the news of the defeat of the demon Qing. If you don't run now, when will you wait? However, thinking of himself, there is still the poison of Gong Gong Hai's bones. The little eunuch could only continue to secretly think about countermeasures. At this moment, a cold 05 voice came from the harem. Aobai, what sin should you be guilty of? You must be sacrificed to the demon god in order to atone for your sins. The leader of the Shenlong sect, the fake queen mother, walked out with a lot of demeanor and reprimanded He Jiao. Humph. This battle with that unknown enemy is an oracle of the demon god. Queen mother, even if you bury the entire demon Qing for this, it will be a matter of reluctance. Could it be that the queen mother, are you going to refute the oracle of the demon god? Seeing that Aobai used the demon god as a shield, the fake queen mother didn't dare to say much. Aobai, no matter what, you lost the war and buried the 8 banners of the demon Qing, that is a big sin. Even if there is a demon god oracle, it will be executed by Ling Qi. However, you can give me the oracle of the demon god, and I can save you from death. At this time, an earth-shattering lion roar sounded, and suddenly the Buddha's voice filled his ears, shaking his eardrums painfully. The lion roars at the Buddha gate. He Jiao Aobai also roared, but he couldn't roar at all. The sound of the Buddha penetrated deep into his body and turned into scriptures to lock demons and exorcise evil spirits, making his dragon body almost immobile. It's ridiculous, it's this time, and it's still fighting for power. It's like that demon god can save you. A figure appeared in the palace, it was Cao Zhengchun, the governor of the East Factory. At this moment, the Jianghu sect of the Ming dynasty, the secret agent of the Dragon Guardian Villa, and the 2 factories in the east and west. Elite fighters with Kyushu's ground forces, extraordinary special services. Began the purging of the entire demon Qing. This palace is a top priority, so it will naturally be taken care of. Cao Zhengchun, Shaolin Sanli, Xiangzi 4 ghosts and others went to the capital in person to sweep away the demons. How is it possible? The last time I went there, I saw all mortals. Why are there so many masters at once? Aobai said in shock. Naturally, he didn't know, what he saw were all illusions. Humph, what kind of master, you have to fight to know. Gong Gong Hai said gloomily, but he took a vertical leap and slapped his palm towards Cao Zhengchun. What a heavy corpse smells feed. I actually trained my body to be like a corpse demon, no one is a human, no ghost is not a ghost. Cao Zhengchun squinted and muttered, probing with one hand. Between the surging internal forces, the huge force directly fixed Gong Gong Hai in mid-air. Then hold it with one hand. Click. Directly kneaded Gong Gong Hai into a pile of minced meat. But the minced meat seemed to be still wriggling. Gong Gong Cao pointed out with a finger, turned into a touch of spiritual light, and instantly burned the minced meat. But with one breath, Gong Gong Hai, one of the top masters of the palace, was crushed and scattered. The false queen mother stumbled and took a step back. Your soul-controlling means are not in place. Gong Gong Cao said to the fake queen mother. The emperor and Aobai didn't know what it meant. If you read a violent novel, go to Filu Novel Network. I saw that in the body of the false queen mother, a small green dragon emerged, wanting to burrow into the void. The great law of the dragon. You are a member of the dragon cult. Aobai yelled in surprise, but he didn't expect it to be in the palace. The queen mother in the harem has been robbed and taken possessed by the demons of the divine dragon sect. However, although the speed of the green dragon is extremely fast, it is still not as fast as the 4 ghosts of Xiangzi. The void flowed like flowing water, and a phantom appeared, holding the green dragon who was just about to run away. Seeing this, I don't know that I and the others are just fish on the sticky board. It's ridiculous that before, how high-spirited he was, wanting to take the cave sky. Demon God, you cheat me. That's right, Demon God. Ask for help, Lord Demon God. A glimmer of hope ignited in Aobai's eyes. The golden light flashed, and it was the item that the demon god gave him. But the next moment, the object shattered into pieces. This Aobai shook in horror, and the entire body of the demon Jiao was swinging. That's right, your demon god can't protect himself. Listen to Grandpa Cao's words. Emperor Demon Qing, Aobai, and other masters of the Great Interior, all looked unbelievable. The demon god is invincible, how can it be? And at this moment, their demon god is under siege. Ah! I want you to die. Under the carelessness of the demon god, Na 247 ate the palm of the ancient three links firmly. The ancient three links, or the Ming dynasty, almost all the people have embarked on the path of human immortal martial arts. Ghosts and immortals are naturally involved, but because of the need for qualifications and wisdom, they are extremely high. People who practice naturally are not as much as the immortal martial Dao. In addition, it will also open several physical treasures and strengthen the body. It's not like Dakin. The most important thing in Great Qin is to enter the Tao with martial arts. The main thing is to walk the immortal road, the way of immortal Qin. It combines the immortal method of the world of Wukong's legend. Based on this, supplemented by other ghosts and immortals, human immortals, the way of physical treasures, elements, etc., he walked out of his own immortal path. Immortal Qin, Wuming, Ninja League, Demon Clan, and Transcendent Kyushu. Each has its own chosen path. Kyushu is enlightened on the basis of human immortal martial arts, and there are no regulations on the road after that. Anyway, it's up to you to learn. Not much to mention for now. The ancient three links are now physically strong, but they are very terrifying. Even the demon god was touched by the ancient three links, and the phantom seemed to be about to crack. And at the moment when the demon god roared angrily, there was a loud bang from the sky and the moon. You forced me to die. The demon god roared angrily, and in the starry sky, the moon suddenly exploded. Suddenly, a huge figure appeared. Is this the essence of the demon god? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 163. Starry sky gravel exploded. The intense energy bombardment made the starry sky suddenly become incomparably bright. A huge figure curled up slowly stretched out. The lower body of a giant insect resembles a soft, and its body is covered with dense arthropods. The upper body is burly and powerful, and he is dressed in pitch-black armor. 3 pairs of giant arms were outstretched, and their palms were like sharp blades. The huge head, almost without a neck, is shrunk on the torso. The hideous face let out a terrifying roar. A swarm of ants, dead. Rushing. Between the angry roars, the demon god's face opened dense, small scarlet round eyes. In the starry sky, in an instant, space seemed to freeze at this moment. In the void, tiny black lines permeated, turning into countless tiny black worms, alternating between space and reality. In an instant, it attacked Zhu Ignorance, and Gu Santung and others. Ding ding ding. Suddenly, there was a dense sound of metal knocking. Just this thing, I also want to damage my flesh, wishful thinking. Gu Santung laughed and his body shook. With a flash of golden light, the powerful anti-shock force turned into a ripple and swept the starry sky. Countless black insects exploded and died. Without waiting for the demon god to react, the 3 hands were round. There was a sound of rolling thunder all over his body, and the spiritual thoughts in the fist seemed to be about to manifest the essence. There seems to be a peerless murderer who looks at the world and strikes a brilliant blow. This punch was struck, and the void suddenly exploded. The demon god only felt his body tighten, and his soul was in his soul. I feel that I am enveloped by fist intent, and there is nowhere to escape from heaven and earth. The majestic fist intent, the so-called ants in the mouth of the demon god, danced with the spiritual will. The demon god felt the threat of this punch, and his body shook. The demonic power was scattered, with a strong bloody aura, colliding with the brilliant fist intent. No matter how big or bad it is. But Gu Santung frowned, and his blood rushed. Ah! H. Suddenly, there was a cry of pain in my ears as the soul dissipated. This demon god has not only gained the flesh and blood of human beings, but also imprisoned the souls of countless people. Be careful, there must be something strange about this demon god. Gu Santung muttered. You must know your current strength. It is already like frost and blood is like mercury. Reborn, cut the hair and wash the marrow. The body is unclean, the chi and blood are full of fist intent, and he is already a junior martial saint. With your strength, compared to the ghosts and immortals who broke the barrier of life and death, it is not bad. But when in contact with the demon god, in the body of the demon god, there seems to be some kind of strange thought, and the demon invades him. It can even wear down and distort his fist intent. This kind of distorted and polluted power is much more powerful than the demonic power of those who practice martial arts in Demon Cheng. I didn't expect that there would be such a strong person. It seems that the world in which you live must have a great secret. The demon god seemed to be a little excited. These human beings in front of them, that majestic chi and blood. If you allow yourself to have such rations every day, it won't be long before he returns to the abyss, and he may be able to become an abyss lord. Idiot. Still thinking about our world? Among the 4 secret agents, Du and Tianya sneered and pointed a point. A sharp immortal light burst out. And the other 3 spies will not leave their hands behind. Gu Santung and Zhu ignored it and did not interfere. This demon god is not weak, but it is not strong either. The strength of the 4 secret agents can already be overpaid. It's just a grind for them. Gu Santung looked at the 4 secret agents and fought with the demon god in the starry sky. While saying, read the violent novel, go to the Filu novel network. This demon god should have sealed himself in this moon. Its strength is not strong, it has an inexplicable strange ability to pollute, and it can also pollute the entire life world. That's how it works. Zhu nodded in disregard. Glancing at the stars of the great sun, he said. It's a trick. Take advantage of the rays of the sun and refract down on the moon. Convey your own power to the atmosphere. It takes decades, even hundreds of years. Inexplicably, it can infect the entire planet silently. Bewitch the demon again, kill the whole planet, sacrifice life to him. I'm afraid that even if we don't come, this demon won't exist for long. It will be completely polluted and turned into a monster that has lost its own mind. Between words, I saw Gihai slashing across the starry sky, cutting the roaring and hideous demon god into 2. Don't kill it, keep this demon god's body for research, take its soul and take a look at its memory. The demon god lay half dead in the starry sky. Hearing Zhu's words, his body shook. In the past, it used to smoke other people's souls. I didn't know that it would be my turn today. And in the conference room, sitting here, everyone looks relaxed. This so-called demon god is not very strong, and the only thing that concerns people is its polluting nature. If it appears in the ordinary material world and launches a so-called aura revival, it will be a real disaster. Liang Rong's words, De Ming naturally knows. The previous Ming dynasty was the same as Kyushu. It's all a universe of demonic matter. If you let the demon god carry out a fake aura revival, you will actually spread your own demonic power. Let the whole world enter the carnival of transcendent awakening. As a result, they will eventually become demons enslaved by demon gods. It's not a disaster or anything. Now, the looting secret realm strategy is only less than 1 hour. The strategy has been completed. It has entered the final stage of finishing and purging. and in the banquet hall of the Origin Raiders. De Ming and Kyushu are discussing how to deal with this secret realm. Ren, Linyo's mouth, since Emperor Ming wants it, then give it to you. However, in terms of world integration, you will naturally have to make concessions. The Great Elder said with a straight face. This reward, of course, must be counted clearly. After all, brothers have to settle accounts. Haha, of course, of course. We're not going to be so greedy. With the addition of these people in my Ming dynasty, the population will grow again, and the development will be much faster. Subsequently, the leaders of the two forces have negotiated and exchanged views through friendly negotiations. Before the task was completed, it was already clear that the whole world had been divided. Then, a message from the command room of the looting raiders. It was transmitted and sent to the light curtain. It also makes everyone know one word: abyss. A land of evil chaos that loves to destroy and devour the world. Strategy for the All Heavens dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 164. Daddy. Caught. The nobles of the world, the celestial dragons, caught for. Margiao said with a grin. Whitebeard, on the other hand, is still looking at some recent information and intelligence. For example, there was a meeting the other day. That day happened to be an exclusive quest for Kyushu and Daming. Finally, about the demon god of the cholera world. In the past few days, some information has been revealed in a row. Like the Abyss. This demon god is from a world called the Abyss. It's in the Abyss, and it's just a small abyss demon. And before it descended on the looting secret realm, the abyssal world it was in was attacked by another powerful abyssal world. Therefore, it caused the world to shatter, opened a crack, and allowed it to escape to the looting secret world. This had to open everyone's eyes again. This demon god said that it is not strong, and it is not weak. If it has not yet entered the origin, it will be a catastrophe for most worlds. But in the abyss, it's just cannon fodder. At best, it's a little stronger cannon fodder. And the abyss likes to do things the most. It is to devour the world and pull the secret world into the abyss. Perhaps, the raiders in the origin will become stronger. Then there will be more opportunities to come into contact with all kinds of evil gods and monsters in the abyss world. Whitebeard looked at it for a moment, and 373 heard Margiao's words. Spread the word. We, the Whitebeard pirates, want to challenge the Draconians, challenge the world government, challenge the navy, and challenge all the pirates. We want to attract the attention of the whole world. Let them think that it's because of Ace that we're going crazy. Marga, of course, doesn't care about that. The world of pirates, for them now. That's really not a single one can fight. When it's time to form a team and pull in a powerful raider. After all, for the devil fruit of the pirate world. Many forces are interested. Unfortunately, there is too little production to be used at all. So, for the major forces, a completely unified world of pirates. Nature is better than a scattered force. There will also be more resources and opportunities for exchange and cooperation. It's a win-win situation. It's like the Ninja Alliance. The 6-Deo Divine Tree fruit is such a good thing, but it is in short supply. The main thing is the Ninja World, which controls the speed of the fruiting seeds of the 6 divine trees. After all, a Faj has not been around for a long time, and the early stage is mainly maintenance. You can't do that thing that plucks out the seedlings. Whitebeard paced back and forth a few steps, then turned to say. We, the Whitebeard pirates, have been fully integrated with the affiliated pirates. Now you can start your journey and head to Marinfondo. Margiao nodded with some excitement. He knows. The big event that swept the entire pirate world is about to kick off. Dad, What do you say, what will our world be like in the future? Margao couldn't help but say yearningly. The Whitebeard's eyes flashed, and the green dragon meandered and circled, blooming with a powerful momentum. Ha ha ha. I'm from Kyushu, but I've learned a sentence. Hurry up for the sun and the moon to change the sky. We in the world of pirates should do the same. I want to form a new world government, read the violent novel, go to the Filu novel network. Let all ordinary people no longer have to worry about pirate attacks. No need to worry about the oppression and exploitation of the Draconians. We want to make the world of pirates the same world as Kyushu, the ninja world, and the Ming and Qin worlds. Maybe most of the navy can be regarded as justice, but if there is a navy of the Draco people, then it is not necessarily, at least the Draco people must be solved. Margao whispered. And he himself knows, pirates, needless to say. For most ordinary people, there aren't many good guys in pirates. Otherwise, he would not be called a thief. If you don't believe it, you look at the world, such as Daming, Kyushu, and so on. Will it leave pirates with room to survive? Like the Great Ming, or the Great Qin. Pirates who dare to plunder the seas, disturb the coast, and rob merchant ships. They have all been skinned, cramped, and sent to hell. And Whitebeard wanted to do it the most. It's the first, kill the Draconians. Second, clean up the oceans and get rid of pirates. Third, to transform the world government, it is necessary to introduce the advanced ideas of the worlds such as Kyushu and Dakin into the new pirate world government. And in the world of pirates, everyone was frightened by the high profile of the Whitebeard pirates. In the midst of the holy land of Mariacho, there is still chaos. There were actually pirates who were able to enter the Holy Land and captured the four world nobles Draconian. This made them, who regarded all except the Draconians as slaves, feel inexplicably flustered and nervous. The 5 old stars were naturally furious. On the Navy's side, there was a lot of fire. But now that everyone has been arrested, they don't dare to look for the bad luck of the Whitebeard pirates. After all, there are hostages there. If you make an easy move, don't provoke Whitebeard to tear up the Tianlong people. Just wait, Whitebeard, but you've already spoken. On the way to Marinfondo, Carp said in a bored half-lying state, seemingly unconcerned about it. It's not just that you brought the Draconians captives to Marinfondo. Now the whole of Marinfondo is a place that attracts the attention of the whole world. Admiral Huang Ape also squinted his eyes and said, nowadays, countless pirates, I don't know where to know the news. In the vicinity of Marinfondo, many treasures were found. This made the top brass in the Navy know that Whitebeard must have used Ace to execute him. Something big. Indeed, it was the Whitebeard pirates who wanted to make trouble. And those treasures that are dominated by gold, silver, and jewelry, to be honest, are simply not too cheap. Margotham, on the island near Marinfondo, I don't know how much they buried. Ha 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 ha. Whitebeard, I'm scared crazy when Ace is about to be executed. My chance to give Tiki is here. I want to let the entire pirate world enter the era of my Blackbeard after Whitebeard. Used Ace in exchange for the name of the King's 7 Marshal Seas, and now he is very proud. If the plan goes smoothly, then, if you have won the ability of Whitebeard's shock fruit, you will be invincible. Pirate world. It will also be out of the era of Whitebeard. Enter Blackbeard's era. And, with the help of that mysterious team, we might be able to accomplish that great thing. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 165. The mysterious team that Titch is talking about. It was a 5-person squad, 4 men and 1 woman. They are a team of reincarnators from the reincarnation space. Captain Black Bear, why is there a discrepancy between the current situation and the news we bought in the reincarnation space? The only woman in the team asked cautiously, so as not to make the Black Bear angry. Captain Black Bear can be regarded as a senior reincarnation. I've survived nearly 10 reincarnation space missions. I didn't expect that this time, such a high-level task would be assigned. It's simply a task of 9 deaths and a lifetime in the world. However, this world task, accomplished. Then the harvest will be super rich. For example, the devil fruit with regular attributes. In the reincarnation space, it is very expensive to sell, and it is very rare. Especially those powerful kinds of fruits, ordinary people can obtain them, and they can become advanced reincarnators in an instant. But on top of the war, this is a mission scenario where even a whole team of veteran reincarnators will die if they are not careful. Captain Black Bear is still holding back in his heart. Yes, Captain, the battle of the reincarnation scene of the war on top. But there is nothing to do with the celestial dragons. How could Whitebeard go to capture the celestial dragons? Another man, confused. Moreover, it seems that the pirates who did not come to the war also ran over because of the treasures around the Chambord Islands. It's a bit of a rumor on the side of the Navy headquarters. Whitebeard, who was hiding in the shadows, wasn't sure if he would come to rescue Ace. It actually launched a comprehensive challenge to the Navy, the world government, and other pirates. Although he is known as a man who can destroy the world, he is already in good health. How can he still be so arrogant? Several team members were gossiping, discussing the purchased information about the war on the top. Especially the information of the powerful people in it. For example, Whitebeard, such as the 3 major generals, and the Marshal. Or the 7 Marshalsees of His Majesty. Or Blackbeard, with Shanks, one of the 4 emperors. Covering the entire original destiny, some of the strong men who are on top of the war. But now, the Great Voyage, all the 4 emperors will come here. Those who have survived this task only know the end. The red-haired Shanks, one of the 4 emperors, did come here to mediate the war. But Aunt Charlotte Lingling, and Beast Kaido, these 2 didn't come. But now, Blackbeard got the news here, and there was news about the 4 emperors' pirates, Big Mom, and Kaido. What's the matter? Is it because of some change that the reincarnation scene has temporarily increased the difficulty? The Black Bear shook his head, unable to figure it out. As for this mission, survive the war on top. And you also have to join a faction to get some contribution points. Naturally, according to the information they purchased, they joined Blackbeard. First, after all, the Navy is not easy to get into. Moreover, the Navy, as the first to go to war with Whitebeard, suffered heavy casualties. I'm afraid that as soon as I get a few of them, I will have to face Whitebeard and the Whitebeard pirates. And joining the 7 Marshalsees of His Majesty is also a choice. But whether they will accept it or not, and whether they will join them and get a contribution is also difficult to say. And join the ambitious Blackbeard and provide some information intelligence help. It can also reduce a lot of pressure after Blackbeard kills Whitebeard. Kill the Whitebeard pirates and make up your contribution. It's a good choice. It's just that relying on intelligence information, he plays the role of a prophet. Now, because of the incident, it has deviated from the intelligence information. So much so that this reincarnation team is a little waxy. Was already seeking skin with the tiger, but now it's a mess. I had to make this reincarnation team tremble. Captain, don't give up on us. Seeing the Black Bear's constipated appearance, the 4 of them felt that they were afraid that they would be sad this time. In other words, the people in the reincarnation space, although they are all people who have originally died once, will be pulled in to do the task. If you read a violent novel, go to Feel a Novel Network. But who really wants to die? It's better to die than to live. The 4 of them, this time they were also unlucky, and they were actually assigned here. Is also in this reincarnation plot scene, which has inexplicably increased the difficulty. And the black bear is a senior reincarnation. The heart also quickly stabilized. After all, even if the mission fails, or leaves early, he can also afford to punish him. But an originally high-level reincarnation plot has undergone an inexplicable mutation. Maybe there's something different in it. It doesn't matter if the mission fails. If you can witness the development of this mutated plot, record the information. You may earn more than you can get done. As for these few people, it's your own business. It's better to die all of them, and don't let them share information. Thinking of this, the black bear coughed lightly and said, "Don't worry, you believe me, I'm a senior reincarnation, there will be a way." Not to mention the black bear's idea, what they don't know. Big Mom Pirates took a leg of ginseng, and of course there was something to lure her. Isn't she a sweet tooth? One of the 8 king's delicacies from the world of nothing, the Snake Queen Mother King Snake's food garden, the ultimate sweet tooth. This thing was soaked for a long time by Diamond Jaws, who went to find the little master. Only then did he ask the little master to find his mother, Master Abe, and sold a little bit. And then secretly got a little bit for the ant. The first time my aunt ate it, she was deeply attracted. In normal times, if you know where the sweet comes from, even if you destroy a few kingdoms, you have to get it. It's impossible to let go of such an ultimate sweet. But now it's the Whitebeard pirates who have this sweet tooth. Want more of the ultimate sweet tooth? Then come to the Navy headquarters, and I'll tell her when the time comes. So, the Big Mom pirates are here. And as for the 100 beasts Kaido, he was lured because Whitebeard had promised. We'll give him the best war in the world. In a word, whether to come to war or not. The 4 emperors, the 7 Marshalseas, the navy, the world government, and the celestial dragons. Everything is connected in tandem to launch a war that engulfs the world. How could Kaido, 100 beasts who had dreamed of this, let go of this fantastic war? All the pirates in the pirate world, as well as ordinary people, were attracted by this news. Some are crazy, some are cautious, and some are afraid. But the Whitebeard pirates, who caused all this, are not their business. Still leisurely, rushed to Marinfondo. A group of Jenny and Kami turtles frolicked on the boat, spraying water guns at each other. The captains of the Whitebeard pirates. It's in the origin raiding the secret realm, carrying out the last special training before the war comes. Instead, it's Whitebeard. At the moment, I'm leisurely looking at a book from Kyushu. A book about society, democracy, prosperity, institutions. 10. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 166. Every time you encounter a major event, you must first calm down. In the world of pirates, it is known as the fiery Whitebeard who has the power to destroy the world. Since entering the source, unconsciously, its domineering seems to be a little more restrained. Perhaps it is in the source that sufficient learning has been carried out. In the belly, not to mention the 5 cars of learning, the belly is full of economy. But since the Great Qin, the Ming dynasty, and the scriptures and literature knowledge of all parts of Kyushu are still involved. And then I can often participate in the discourse of the 100 schools or various cultivation systems. Whitebeard felt more and more his own strength. Even if you don't have to deliberately practice, you will unconsciously make unimaginable progress. This may be the so-called yin and yang mixed element, both internal and external, and the unity of heaven and man. Whether it's physical, mental, or energetic, the spirit and spirit are fully united. Aside from its burly and majestic body, the 490 type. Others may think that this Whitebeard is just an ordinary person. and for the world of pirates. Make such a big battle and start a big war. Just to give the pirate world, everyone a chance to step into the heavens. But if this big war, it didn't trigger the force mission like the Ninja Alliance, then there is no way, let's talk about it later. As he pondered, he walked towards the center of the origin copy. In the air, there are many live broadcast images. And in the middle is the dojo duel in the Pokken world. And look at the title of the live broadcast room, Light Red Gym, Ninja Duel. The challenger is Naruto Uzumaki of the Ninja Alliance. Its opponent, Aju, the owner of the Light Red Gym, is also a ninja by profession. This is a Pokemon duel between two ninjas. Whoever wins, it may prove that they have a better understanding of the mysteries of ninja. Curator Aju, the first to play, is a moth. Morimoth, a poisonous moth Pokken spirit with poison and insect attributes. Naruto Uzumaki pulled out a Pokeball in front of Hinata behind him, who looked like a little daughter-in-law. Come out, Flamingo. Immediately, the two ninja Poke Elf trainers began their fateful duel. This live broadcast has been sent to all major worlds for live broadcast. To countless audiences, the magical Pokemon was displayed, and the bloody duel was felt. Pokken Duel. This. What the hell is this place? Big Bone looks at the picture that fills the air and fights with all kinds of demons and monsters. I felt amazed and confused. I couldn't help muttering a few words. And the biggest picture in the middle, with the trainers on both sides. Command creatures known as Pokemon and engage in interesting battles. Let the Big Bone seem to be immersed in it. But just as the two trainers were in the middle of a fierce battle, all of a sudden, the bell rang in the gym. It turned out to be a group of people calling themselves Team Rocket who had invaded the gym. As a result, the two ninjas in the duel had to stop the battle urgently. The young kid with blonde hair, in particular, was so angry that his whole body glowed red. It was as if a wild beast had awakened. Fortunately, behind him, a girl with white and pure eyes grabbed him. It was funny to see the Big Bones. New to the Sanrin. Suddenly, a steady voice came from behind him, which startled Daegu. Hurriedly turned his head to look. I was surprised again. The man in front of him, with his burly body, was like a giant. Hello, my name is Yuen Daegu, a member of the Victory Team. Looked at the ignorant and incomprehensible polite young man in front of him, called Yuen Daegu. Whitebeard's beard trembled, and said with a smile, read violent novels, go to Fila Novel Network. Round Bones, good name. I've been confiscating my son for a long time, and when I see you, I want to take my son in again. Ha ha ha. Hearing Whitebeard's words, Daegu looked confused. Just kidding, don't take it personally. Just call me Whitebeard. Of course, I don't mind calling me Daddy Whitebeard. Under Whitebeard's gags, Daegu was a little less restrained. Hello, Uncle Whitebeard. You just asked me if I'm new. I think I should be the one. As soon as Whitebeard saw the rare and strange appearance of Big Bone, he naturally knew at a glance that he was a newcomer. Haha, it's okay, everyone is coming from the newcomer. If you have time, just sit down. Let me explain to you, this Origin Heavens and Secret Realms strategy. Uncle, is this an introduction to newcomers? Whitebeard was talking to Big Bone when it happened to be Seattle, who was bouncing around, and looked at Whitebeard and said. Then he looked at the Big Bones. Yo, what a handsome guy. I said, why are you talking in such a tone that you are becoming more and more like Boss Kelly? Whitebeard couldn't bear to look at the current Seattle directly. Since the meeting that day, after being fed a mouthful of sweet crit dog food by Zhao Linger and Li Xiaoao. This time, the origin of the beautiful boys. It can be said that it was found by this lively girl, almost one by one, to talk. She seems to be investigating why there are so many men in the origin. None of them went to soak her. Seattle pouted, how could she be like Lady Kelly? That's a super rich woman. Strengthen the weapon, the strong man planted in her hands. It has already encompassed the entire origin heavenly world. But each of them didn't dare to show Kelly's boss face, so as not to be labeled as undesirable, which reduces the success rate of self-enhancement. That's more than worth the loss. Uncle Whitebeard. If only I could be like Lady Kelly. I'm not greedy, if I can be like my white boss, it's okay. Big anchor, rich, long legs, strong. Oops. After saying a few words, I suddenly screamed in pain. 1.1 It was the white boss of Biohive who grabbed the little head melon seeds. I was wrong, let the poor child go. Biohive rolled his eyes, and there was nothing he could do about Seattle's mouth now that he was letting go of himself. Next time I say that, I'll sacrifice you to Lady Kelly to increase my success rate of strengthening. Biohive said viciously. Frightened, Seattle pulled the broken star and ran away. In the distance, Seattle's voice was heard. Don't wait for us to eat today. The Skull and Bones Alliance has a joint friendship party, and Pretty Boy invited me to be the host. After saying that, the figure had disappeared. Hee, this little girl is still quite interesting. Seeing that he heard Daegu say this, Byakuya smiled and said. A little nerve is true. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 167. Big Bone came to this strange place. With the conversation with Whitebeard, there is a living treasure like Seattle. The slightest guard in my heart has been completely let go. Don't be nervous now. Whitebeard smiled and teased Big Bone. Thank you. Daegu said sincerely. But I suddenly remembered that I had only come here by accident, guided by that mysterious voice. And the outside world, but when it comes. In the battle command room of the victory team, there seems to be traces of the energy of the monster. Now is not the time to gossip here, you have to go back first. After this monster energy trace is over, find free time and come to this origin space to have a look. Uncle Whitebeard, Miss Byakuya, I. Seeing the appearance of the big bones, it seems that there is something important. Go ahead, go and do your own thing, and come here again to enjoy the adventure. Remember how to go back. Whitebeard waved his hand and said. Daegu nodded and said with a smile. Yes, thank you. 05. In the next moment, the big bone had returned to the corridor of the combat headquarters. Not a dream. Big Bone muttered. The light curtain that appears in front of you, and the source information rotates to appear. The various pictures of the live broadcast are also continuing. The man who called himself Team Rocket was trained by two ninjas. Command their respective Pokemon and solve them cleanly. The blonde kid, with a hearty laugh, resounded throughout the live broadcast room after thwarting Team Rocket's offensive. I recalled in my mind that the burly man and the white-bearded uncle who had just met each other. Amiable, fair-skinned, and beautiful Byakuya girl, and the heart-beating Seattle girl. The corners of the big bone mouth are slightly raised. Then he shook his head and hurried to the combat command room. Big Bone, where did you go? A beautiful figure looked at the big bone who hurriedly walked in from the door. Lena, I'm sorry, Without waiting for Daegu to explain, a surprised voice sounded from the mouth of another member of the victory team. Look, I've found the place where the pyramids are. Everyone was also attracted by this sound, and looked at the watch face of the tracking instrument. Go, look for the pyramids. The shout of the commander-in-chief sounded, and the victory team naturally set off in two victories, one large and one small. Just like the original fate. The splendid and mysterious pyramid stands in the middle of the mountain, radiating brilliance. The inexplicable mysterious voice made Daegu involuntarily step in. Giants are really giants. Daegu muttered excitedly. Even when the three sculptural giants were seen, a hint of a real-time dynamic copy appeared in the light curtain. They all ignore it because the big bones are attached to the giants. Fate seems to be the same, and it seems to be changing all the time. Two giant monsters, Gorzon and Melba. At this moment, he has already set his eyes on this. The victorious team immediately retreated, piloting the fighters. When I saw Gorzon, and Melba, a stone giant. When only the last statue remained, Daegu drove the fighter plane and resolutely rushed over. And like the inevitability of fate, or the heroic epic myth. Heroes, too. Big Bone finally landed on his tuba. Ultraman Tiga, the Giant of Light, makes an appearance. The Giant of Light makes his debut with 1 against 2. If you read a violent novel, go to Filu Novel Network. In good tradition, the opening scene is all about giving away experience. Tiga killed Melba with a blow, and Gorzon escaped by digging a hole in the ground. Make the members of the winning team look stupid. Good guy, this is just the big bone of an ordinary person. Instantly transformed into Ultraman known as the Giant of Light. Powerful power, let that terrifying monster, 1 dead and 1 wounded. Moreover, the big bone is not yet skilled because he has just gained strength. If you give him some martial arts, or immortal powers. That's power. Whitebeard said leisurely, looking at the picture in front of him that had ended the live broadcast. Then close your eyes and recuperate, quietly waiting for the big battle in the pirate world to come. Until 3 days later. The world of pirates, in the naval headquarters Marin Vando. It has almost withdrawn the limit of what the Navy can withdraw, mobilized nearly 200,000 elite naval forces, and surrounded the entire Marinfondo. The strong gathered. His Majesty's 7 Marshalseas, the 3 major generals of the Navy, the vice admirals and elites of the Navy, and the Marshal of the Navy warring states. All of them were present, and the momentum was compelling. And this scene was naturally broadcast live to the entire pirate world simultaneously. But in the shadows, there are many large and small pirate groups. They gathered not far from the Chambord Islands to Marinfondo. Get out of the way, one of the 4 emperors, Charlotte Lingling, with her pirate legion. I heard that the 100 Beasts Kaido is also here, but I don't know if it's true. Whether it's true or not, I'm waiting for Whitebeard to show up right now. Don't make any noise, look at Zingtai, that's the Fire Fist ace of the Whitebeard pirates. There are a lot of people who are paying attention to this battle, all over the entire pirate world. And those who know Whitebeard also know. He must be there. His Whitebeard pirates, since Ace was arrested, announced that he would be sentenced to 990 sentences. The actions of the Whitebeard pirates are all in the eyes of everyone. It seems that they are not afraid of anything, and they are deliberately making things bigger. Even the nobles of the world of the Tianlong people were arrested. It can be said that everyone is shocked. And the Navy also knew that this battle would be dangerous. They, along with the entire ordinary inhabitants of Marinfondo, have all been relocated, and the buildings have been emptied to avoid innocent harm. This also shows that the top brass of the Navy still pay attention to ordinary people. After all, without the presence of a Navy, the rampant pirates will surely make a mess of the whole world. Journalists and photographers from all over the world are debugging. In order to ensure that the entire execution process and the battle that took place are transmitted to the world in the first time. And the entire island of Marinfondo is also filled with a strong and rich sense of tension, which has not dissipated for a long time. The top brass of the Navy are sitting on the final mobilization. Boost the morale of the Navy and swear to protect the Navy headquarters. And the first one at the front, of course, is the 7 Marshalseas of His Majesty. And on the execution where Fire Fist Ace knelt, Admiral Sengoku, Mujins walked out. He's about to make a big announcement. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 168. Sengoku ascends to the execution platform. It looks like the execution of Roger many years ago. For some reason, a trace of exhaustion flashed across Sengoku's face. And even his hair seems to be a lot grayer. No way, preparations for a top battle. There was also pressure directly from the 5 old stars. The following generals or lieutenant generals and so on, and some are paddling in salted fish. However, today, the justice of the Navy must be carried out, and all pirates will witness the Navy's determination to uphold justice. Sengoku calmed down and took out the phone bug. His voice also calmly spread to the whole world. Podcast Ace, his father, is the of One Piece. Gordy Roger. The name of One Piece Roger once again appeared in front of everyone. And Ace, the Fire Fist of the Whitebeard Pirates. It's actually the son of One Piece Roger. For a moment, Marin Fando was silent and silent. Big news, report to HQ quickly. Journalists on the Soap Islands quickly delivered the big news. And watching other archipelago villages and towns, watching the live broadcast, some were surprised, some were afraid, and some were crazy. The name of One Piece Roger, just saying it, has great magic. And the one kneeling on the execution table was actually the son of the great demon. Flowing the blood of the demon who started the era of pirates. For most of the general public, Ace is the son of the devil. The Whitebeard who sees everything in his eyes naturally knows why. Compared to the Navy, the vast majority of pirates are indeed the moths of the world. But compared to the celestial dragons, the pirate is just a naughty boy. Tud. The idea of blood and race, which is deeply ingrained in the hearts of almost everyone. We must use an invincible posture to break all obstacles. Whitebeard settled his mind and turned to look at the captains. Go ahead, capture all the Draconians, the nobles of the world, all. Here, leave it to me. Whitebeard has a lot of faith in the current captains. Not to mention how far its own strength has grown. That is, just to say that there are many treasures in the origin. Borrowing these foreign objects, you can crisscross the entire pirate world at will. Margio, Jaws, and the captains. Naturally, they also understand today. No longer in the original fate. Can only watch the weak people who let themselves run away after their father gave up his life. What they're going to do now? It is to implement Daddy's will. From top to bottom, crush everything. Looking at the group of boys, Whitebeard thought of that person again. Ace's sworn brother, the child of fate, and the father of Monkey D. Luffy. The leader of the Revolutionary Army, the dragon. You're also waiting to see what I said the other day, how exactly it came to be. Whitebeard said secretly in his heart, and his eyes were clear. So, boys, let's get started. Ding. Task change. Real-time dynamic dungeons, top wars, mission status changes. Mission, World War of Pirates. Requires the completion of the unification of the pirate world. This quest is changed to no restriction status. This quest is a long-term quest, no time limit. Note that the basic of unifying pirates, in order to establish an orderly country, obtain the support of at least 60 people, pirates and navies in the pirate world. Reward, become a world force in the 6th origin country. Mar-etal, on the light curtain in front of him, this news appeared at the same time. Daddy, it worked. Jaws shouted. Then don't talk nonsense. Let's get started. Margio said hurriedly. Everyone looked at Daddy with squinting eyes. If you read a violent novel, go to Feel a Novel Network. Whitebeard's heart was agitated, and the green dragon roared, instantly swelling and surrounding the entire huge battleship. Huge portals stand by the sea. go, and knock the so-called world aristocracy to the dust, so that the whole world can see it? Oh oh oh. The captains cheered, and their figures disappeared in an instant. Lead the fleet and head straight into the portal. And among all the land islands of the world, suddenly, holographic projection screens appeared. An inexplicable picture suddenly appeared, leaving everyone confused, including the elite of the Navy who are waiting for the battle in Marinfando. That's Draco Sanctuary, Marajo. Many people don't know where the live broadcast scene suddenly appeared in front of them. But it can't be hidden from the top of the Navy, as well as the major pirates. Long, a revolutionary who was far away somewhere, was also stunned when he looked at the light curtain that suddenly appeared in front of him. I remembered what Whitebeard had said to him a few days ago. Dragon, you say that the current is compared to the lust of those in power who are obsessed with profit. The actions of the wicked people in the world are much more humane. It's because waste rules the world that batch after batch of waste is created. The state of the world has made you dissatisfied with the status quo. I have the same opinion as you, but I am also different. A world government must exist. But it is necessary to overthrow the world government controlled by the Draconians. To create a new world government for all people in the world. The dragon thought about it all sorts of things. But I still can't help but sigh, where did Whitebeard get the confidence to say these words? And looking at the light curtain in front of him, countless inexplicable metal battleships were suspended in the sky above Marajo. Blooming with a cold aura like a devil, it seemed to be staring at the celestial dragons. This made the dragon think, maybe Whitebeard could really do it. And in the midst of Marinfando, look at the huge curtain of light. No. Shocked everyone. Instant realization. Whitebeard made a move on the Draconians. How dare he? How did he do it? What is that huge metal battleship flying in the sky inexplicably? Sengoku is even more tired. Destroy, hurry. The three generals sitting upright, the yellow ape, the green pheasant, and the red dog, don't even pose. Staring straight at Marajo in the light curtain. And right now, on the chaotic side of Marajo, the metal battleship has not yet moved. The members of the Whitebeard pirates, who were standing on top of the metal battleship, did not attack. Instead, he was still waiting for something, quietly looking at the sky nephew. In a flash. In the confusion of everyone in the world. The sky was torn apart, and a huge rift was opened. Across the sky. It seems that the end has come. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm Chasing Water in the Sky. Chapter 169. It's not enough to just crush. What I want is to make them despair. If you don't break it, you don't stand it, and if you break it, you stand after it. Break all bondage, all obstacles, all thoughts, all evil. Start all over again. Whitebeard muttered softly. This time, naturally, thanks to the help of all walks of life. Otherwise, relying on a few devil fruits, he wouldn't be able to exchange them for so many warships. And when the vault of heaven cracked, Whitebeard's heart moved, and the green dragon circled and roared. The huge battleship beneath his feet activated, crashing into the portal above the sea. And in Marinfando, on the crescent-shaped island. When everyone looked at the sky in horror, a huge aura lit up. Among them, the steel metal giant ship crashed out of the halo. Roll up the waves. Huge momentum and coercion. Emerge from the formidable burly figure. Whitebeard. Whitebeard is coming. He actually came alone. How dare he come by himself, while his crew has run away to Marajo? The whispers were sent out, which attracted the attention of countless people. Only at the front, the closest to the giant ship, His Majesty the Seven Marshalseas. These people can feel it deeply. An inexplicable huge pressure enveloped the whole body. It seems that as long as there is a change, the body and head will be separated in an instant. 103 Which of these people is not a person of high heart? How can you possibly admit what you think in your heart? But that's just the way it is. Whitebeard just stood there with his hands behind his back, motionless. Inexplicable momentum can suppress the hearts of weak people. Daddy. So handsome. On the execution table, Ace couldn't help but murmur. The voice was small, but Whitebeard heard it, and the corners of his mouth twitched twice. This bastard boy, this time the incident passed. You must throw the boys to Dakin. Go to learn the 4 books and 5 classics, piano, chess, calligraphy and painting, blowing, playing and singing. Naked every day, like something. Bah. Sengoku was physically and mentally exhausted. As soon as Whitebeard appeared, his huge momentum overwhelmed everyone, not at all like a person who was already injured. The mysterious flying battleship descended on Mariacho, which also brought pressure to him, the marshal, and the 3 generals below the execution table. Akainu wondered. I also bewitched one before, under the banner of the Whitebeard Pirates, the leader of the New World Pirates. This person promised well. Why did the person disappear? Originally, after seeing fate, that man was going to be troubled by the captains. But in the original fate, he could be forgiven by Whitebeard, let alone now. Moreover, in the original fate, he also regretted what he had done, and he wanted to cover everyone's retreat with his own life. This kind of move naturally makes the captains choose to forget it. Whitebeard didn't know what was going on in these people's minds. Today, what he wants to do is to break everything. The first is to solve the celestial dragon people who are pressing on everyone's heads. Break the confinement of the Draco people to kill and take away all lives. The second is to make everyone desperate in terms of strength. Break everyone's mind of relying on power and doing nonsense. Thirdly, this is the main thing, and that is to destroy the title of thief. Regardless of Roger, at that time promised the dream treasure of the sea. It's to upset the world, so as to get the opportunity to break the confinement of the Draco people. Or something else. In the future, what we want in the world is stability. As for not wanting to be stable. For example, Charlotte Lingling of the Big Mom Pirates. If you read a violent novel, go to Fila Novel Network. For the sake of food, the kingdom can be destroyed at will. Pirates like this, that's not too much. When the time comes, those who should be educated shall be re-educated on a compulsory basis. If you should go to hell, then go to hell. Whitebeard, do you think you can rely on that kind of warship and your crew to deal with the world government headquarters? And you dare to come here alone? If you're alone, you can do it to all of us. I heard Sengoku ask. Whitebeard nodded solemnly, of bite. And then he said. You're wrong about one thing. It's not just me who has come here, it's not just my sons there. I'll send you a sentence that I just learned. Those who have attained the Tao have much help, and those who have lost the Tao have little help. After speaking, looked at the top of the navy with a bewildered face, and shook his head. That's why people should read more. I'm ready to take the college entrance examination and try my weight. Whitebeard showed off his knowledge, but unfortunately no one else understood. I want to say that there are many people who help me. Whitebeard's voice fell. I saw that the crack in the heavenly dome was torn open, as if pulling the world alive. Between thunder, flames, and hurricanes flickering. There are countless figures, appearing there. Huge power, sweeping the entire pirate world. The waves are turbulent, and the whole world is shaking violently like a boat in the middle of a storm. There are countless godlike eyes, looking through the cracks into the world of pirates. A pair of interested thoughts spread and strafed. The leader of the Draconians, the Lord above the 5 old stars represented by the power of the world government. Lord I am, who dwells in the deepest part of the Holy Land Mariajo, among the flowers. At this moment, the Buddha is like the mind and body, which are all looked at. I was horrified. And hiding in the shadows on Blackbeard's side? The members of the reincarnation team are already stupid. Especially the veteran reincarnation Black Bear. What the hell is this? Why can't you even run away? The barriers of the world, separated by an unknown distance, are torn apart. This is far inferior to the main god of reincarnation. No wonder we haven't been able to use any will space power since the beginning. Looking at the Black Bear, it was as if he had lost his soul, and several other reincarnators were naturally shocked. The properties panel is gone, and the storage space is gone. Except for his original power, everything else related to the reincarnation space has disappeared without a trace. Perhaps, this means that he has been freed from the shackles of the reincarnation space. But it's special. This is just out of the wolf's den, and he crashed into the tiger pack again. Found it? Suddenly, an inexplicable voice sounded from the side of the reincarnation. I didn't have any reaction time. The entire Blackbeard pirates were moved away. He was taken to the open space not far from the King's 7 Marshalseas. Congratulations to Whitebeard for capturing a member of the reincarnation space for the first time. Reward, free distribution of 6 reincarnations. Strategy for the All Heavens dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 170. Wow, I've made a fortune, and I've been rewarded with 6 reincarnations for free. What kind of reincarnation space member is this? It's too valuable. Margiao shouted, excited. Then don't talk nonsense, hurry up and catch the Tianlong people and complete the task given by Dad. Margiao, Imu between the flowers, I'll leave it to you dash. Remember, to live, don't let him die. Jaw's words made Margiao react. Now, there are even 6 reincarnations. When the time comes, after the 6 reincarnations are erected, there will definitely be treasures that cannot be seen. Moreover, there have been some exchanges with the ninja world. The top of the ninja world over there said it. The world of pirates, the most likely treasure. It definitely has something to do with devil fruits. If you also have a divine tree, you can produce devil fruits stably. That's a fortune. Margiao swallowed. Think about your own private space. Inside the succubus cafe. I have raised 2 succubi, and when the time comes, I can add 2 more. Ha ha ha. Looking at Margiao's face rippling, he laughed inexplicably. Jaws was confused. And the next moment, Margiao's figure flickered and turned into a huge immortal bird. The flames rose into the sky. Even the space was burned and distorted. A spark burst and turned into a small immortal bird, chirping in the sky. The end of the Draco is coming. The Whitebeard pirates launched an attack on the Draco Holy Land. Margiao incarnated as an immortal bird, and that powerful power made everyone watching the live broadcast seem to be able to face and feel the intense heat. But right now, in the headquarters of the Navy, here is Marin Fando. Everyone's eyes were startled by Blackbeard's sudden appearance. Don't talk about anyone else. Even Blackbeard himself was stunned for a moment. There is only one sentence in my heart, that is, what is going on? Titch. Whitebeard looked at Blackbeard, who was inexplicably stunned. A flash of anger flashed in his heart, then dissipated. Now, he can treat all this calmly. It's only been in the source for a short time. The improvement of the mood is also catching up. But Titch will never forgive himself. It was everything that was in the original destiny that he created. Titch was shouted by Whitebeard and turned his head to look. I was shocked by the heavy momentum. Old. There was a pause in the middle of the shout. I feel that I have a dark fruit, and this is the headquarters of the Navy, so I have no reason to be afraid of him. Whitebeard. As he spoke, he looked around, and the few mysterious people who had allied with him had disappeared. You're looking for them. Whitebeard waved his hand and released a few people. It's those poor reincarnators. They are now half dead, and I don't know what they have experienced. Perhaps only they know. Moreover, they are also useless. The news that these people should know about the capture of these people. All have been intelligent elves, in this source article. In the statement of reincarnation space published at the top, it was written in detail. Titch looked at the white beard that Chengzu was holding, and his heart was still a little frightened. Luckily, Whitebeard didn't have that much to pay attention to him. I saw that the white beard trembled, and a green dragon appeared. Carrying a white beard, he came into the air. Sengoku, what are you waiting for? The end of the Draconians is coming, and the world government will also be broken by me. What are you Navy going to do? Oh, yes. The Draco Sanctuary Mariajo, the headquarters of the world government, is there in just a few minutes. It has already been broken by the Whitebeard pirates. In the past, the Draconians who regarded everyone as slaves were the so-called world nobles. If you read a violent novel, go to Phila Novel Network. They crawled on the ground like pigs. The 5 old stars are also like lost dogs, restrained and kneeling on the ground. In the depths of Mariajo, there were also violent fluctuations. In the future destiny, this person is deeply jealous of the D family. He wants to possess the ancient weapon that destroys the world and takes it as his own. At this moment, we are also facing great difficulties. Sengoku he didn't know any of this. Admiral, His Majesty the 7 Martial Seas don't know any of this. But among them, for the Tianlong people to suffer, facing this situation. And there are quite a few people who feel a burst of happiness. Seeing that the warring states were divided, his face was ugly. The Navy seems to have their own ghosts. Whitebeard just snorted. He also ignored the Blackbeard Tiki who was secretly angry when he saw that Whitebeard ignored him. Ha 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 ha. Warring states, today, my purpose is to overwhelm people with force. Lest you be discouraged. None of my friends will come to help. Not coming to help? They stood on the sky dome, and the inexplicable momentum and coercion had already made everyone feel scared. I'll tell you plainly. No. It's about telling everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a navy, a pirate, a human, or some other race. From today onwards, the rule of the celestial dragons will all disappear. From today, the pirates will also disappear. Starting today, the world government is reformed. I'm Whitebeard. Will lead you to a new path of prosperity, equality, and the rule of law. As soon as Whitebeard said this, he said, spread all over the world. Pirates will disappear too. Hey, Whitebeard, you're one of the 4 emperors, and you're one of the biggest and strongest pirates. What nonsense. Also, reforming the world government? Just because of your white beard? Wrong. He also has so many mysterious friends, at first glance, he looks like a regular army. Perhaps, Whitebeard, he can really make things happen. A world where there is no oppression by the Draconians, no domination by the Draconians. A world where no pirates have come to their homeland to ravage. A world where you don't have to worry about being fed fish when you go out to sea. Can Whitebeard really do it? Whitebeard, are you serious? Sengoku looked at Whitebeard's expression and couldn't help but ask a little speechlessly. Boy! In the blink of an eye, you have a white beard, this is the rhythm of being a savior? Isn't today the time to execute Ace, execute your son, and preach the Navy's upheld justice? Warring states, I dare to come here alone, why do you think I am? Whitebeard's half-squinted eyes opened suddenly. Two flashes of light. The momentum of the whole body is no longer suppressed. As he spoke, the power of the tyrant was vented. For the sake of sacrifice and ambition, dare to call the sun and the moon to change the sky. Everyone. Ace, Daddy Cowpie. Child.